naked action cameras for 2022. That coming up right after this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Ryan. On this channel we do a lot of tips, tricks, and reviews, mostly drone and camera related. If that's something you're interested in, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. So today we are going to be talking about what is the best camera and maybe the best camera for you in the year 2022. Before you, we've got a handful of different naked cameras. We have a Naked Hero 6, we have a Naked Hero 8 by GEPRC, we have the SMO 4K, we have the Firefly X Lite, we have the CADDX Peanut, and we have the DJI Action 2. We do have one more that we will be adding to the mix, and that is the GoCam by iFlight. This particular model number is the GoCam PM G3. The G3 version is the slightly more expensive version of the two that they offer. It is built off the Insta360 1R and very similar to the Insta360 SMO 4K. So this GoCam just came in the mail, and I thought I'd go ahead and show an unboxing of this real quick. Inside the box you do get a series of 3 ND filters. The camera that does have an included UV filter on it. You do get a few connectors. We will talk about this in a while. If you have seen some of my other videos, we have a similar one by iFlight that I've reviewed and highly recommend. There are also a couple of connectors down there further that you can solder onto your flight controller. And lastly, we have a TPU mount for the GoCam. So real quick on this camera, it is slightly heavier than some of the others here. We will go into weights here shortly. It does have a removable back, so right now you can see it's got that typical action camera format. You can take this off to get a little smaller form factor if you like. It does have a door that covers the micro SD card. There's the power port. You have a on button and a record button on the top, so you just have those two buttons. You do have a removable UV filter that comes off, so you can put those 3 ND filters on. This does not have an internal battery, so you will need to power it off of your LiPo battery or also a 5-volt pad off of your flight controller. So now back to this cable. This cable that they do include, this does go to your balance lead on your LiPo pack, and then the other end simply just plugs into here. So you do have to kind of press it in with your fingernail to get that all the way in, and then you simply plug in your LiPo battery as such, and you'll get a blue light showing that you did it correctly, and then you will just long press the power button in order to get it to come on. You should get a solid blue light if everything is good with your micro SD card. If not, it may flash blue on you. And then you just simply tap the record button to start recording. Now there is some setup that you need to do. This does run off of the Insta360 app, so you do need that. You need to pair it in order to get all of the things set up on it. It's fairly straightforward, easy to do. Just remember the default passcode is 8888, a series of 8 8s in order to be able to connect to it. But that is in the manual, so that should be pretty easy to do. All right, so now really quickly, some weights of each of these. I'm going to weigh them with and without their TPU mounts. All the TPU mounts that you'll see today are available on our website. This is the one that comes with it. We do have one that is a typical GoPro fingers that you'll find on most drones these days, if you do not have this smaller naked mount. But we'll go ahead and weigh it with this one, since I don't have one of the other ones printed right now. We are looking at 43.7 grams with the mount. Without the mount, we are at 40.7 grams. And if we take this back cover off, our mount mounts with this back cover removed just to save a little additional weight. You get 37.39 grams. Next up, we have the the Naked Hero 6. This is a beta FPV mod, basically decasing a Hero 6 and using their case and reinstalling the screen on the front. That in total is 27.28 grams. And that is without the mount. With the mount, we will add in, it'll be 30.48 grams with that one's mount. Next up, we have the Hero 8 Black by GEPRC. It's the Naked Hero 8 Black by GEPRC. Without the mount, it is 26.72 grams. With the mount, 30.63 grams. Next up is the SMO 4K, and just to keep this fair, I'm going to remove the ND filter off of this one. With the mount, we are looking at 35.25 grams. Without the mount, we are looking at 31.12 grams. Next up, we have the DJI Action 2. The Action 2 with our mount is 68.7 grams. And we are looking at 55.94 grams, so obviously the heavier of the setups here today. Next up, we have the CADDX Peanut. CADDX Peanut, without it, we are looking at 28.7 grams. With the mount, we're looking at 34.7 grams. Firefly X Lite is 33.79 grams, and add in a mount for that, you're looking at 37 grams. Now, I have done review comparisons on most of these cameras here. I will put a link up here for you to be able to review those. So as far as image quality, we're just going to go over the basics. Right now, both these two are identical as far as what they can record. They are essentially 4K 30 frames per second, so good resolution on those. The stabilization for these are done out of camera. They are done with the Insta360 Studio app. Next up, we have the GoPros. GoPro, we can record 4K 60. We can use the inbuilt stabilization with this, or we can use other stabilization programs like Real Steady Go. So that is really kind of the standard as far as FPV goes, using Real Steady Go. So both these cameras, Naked Hero 6 and the Naked Hero 8, can both do that. Next up, we have the CADDX Peanut. Now, the CADDX Peanut and the Action 2 by DJI are both similar as far as their workflows go. Both of these have internal batteries. You can charge or power this one externally with your drone, and that's one of the nice things about the CADDX Peanut. It does have built-in 32 gigabytes of memory. Likewise, the DJI Action 2 does have a built-in battery, and it has a built-in 32 gigs of internal memory. So again, you drain these, you need to recharge them, you fill the memory, you need to empty them. So there could be a different change that you would have to do with a traditional workflow with these two cameras. This camera does film in 2.7K. This camera does do 4K. And lastly, talk a little bit about the Firefly X Lite. Firefly X Lite can film in 4K 60. Quality of this isn't as good as the others that you've seen here. Slight bit more grain to it, if you will. So this isn't my favorite camera, but it is perhaps the cheapest one of all of these that you see here today. So that you might be able to get away with using this one if you're just looking for an entry-level FPV camera. So now it comes down to price. Prices for these, SMO 4K usually runs about $260 US. You can see it on sale slightly cheaper sometimes. Now, the most expensive of them all here is the GEPRC Naked Hero 8. This is, spoiler alert, probably my favorite of all of them, but it is around $450 US, unless you want to go ahead and decase a Hero 8 and make one yourself. You can probably save a little bit of money, but again, do that at your own risk. You are decasing a full-size GoPro to strip it down to put it in this case that is made by GEPRC. Now, one of these cameras you can probably make for around $200 right now. If you can find a Hero 6 Black, you can get the case for it for around 10 bucks. It comes with the BEC board, everything you need. So that's a pretty good price point for a decased GoPro Hero 6. The Firefly X Lite again, you can usually get this around 140 to 150 US dollars. And it is a good bang for your buck if you are looking for a cheaper camera. Next up, we have the CADDX Peanut. The CADDX Peanut you can usually find between 240 and 260 US dollars. It does come with all the accessories to be able to power it with your drone itself. And again, good quality, nice small form factor if you're looking for something that is small and light. So next up is the DJI Action 2 camera. Now this does normally have another module that plugs into the bottom, whether it be a screen or additional battery pack. And the cost of this one is on the high end at $399 for just the battery expansion version, or $499 for the additional forward-facing screen version. And lastly, the cost of the iFlight GoCam, this is the PMG-R, again the Insta360 version of the iFlight Go camera. It runs about $259. This you actually can find on sale on iFlight's website fairly frequently. I've seen it as low as $139. That's when I picked it up. And then I think right now it might be on sale for about $180. But again, typically $259, similar in price to the SMO 4K. So that is it for this naked camera roundup for 2022. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. We do have links to all the mounts that we've used today, as well as the action cameras too, down below. Some of them are affiliate links. We do get a small kickback or commission when you use them, so we appreciate that. Doesn't cost you a penny more to use those links, so we greatly appreciate your support. So that is it for this video. Fly safe, film safe, and bye for now.